What's going on, y'all? JT here with a quick video. Just gonna do some minor comparisons between the version 5 arm and Typhon and then the TLR Racing Tune Typhon. I'm just saying TLR TT because it's just easier to say that instead of kind of saying it over again. But anyway, I wanted to show this to you guys and just show you some of the differences between the two right here. Now, my V5 Typhon does have different tires on there. These are some of those Ropex pinspike tires. I was kind of running this off-road. The original tires that come with this are more or less kind of all purpose. They don't do the best off-road, but they do. They can get you running. That's the best way I can put it. But they are more for speed runs and stuff with this as well. Whereas this does come with some pinspike tires and stuff. This will probably be good just to get you started. But I think if you're going to go racing with either one, it doesn't matter. I think you need to go to the track and see what kind of compound tires some of the top racers there recommend or what they're running, just to get the better compound tires instead of going out and buying a whole bunch of different tires and stuff. So anyway, right off the bat, you guys see, of course, the bodies are different. They're the same design, but they're different colors. This one's a little bit flatter because somebody landed on top of mine at the Horizon Fest. It was so funny. He just crashed right on top of me and stuff and just crushed my body with that. But it still survived and it's okay with that. But of course, you guys see differences there. And then you'll see some other minor differences in some of the coloring and stuff, as well as far as the shocks, and then some of the aluminum parts that are like on the Typhon V5 compared to the TLR TT, I should say, not 3 T's. So there's differences there, but some of the major difference is going to be the tunability between the two. You guys see that there's differences too here in the wings as well. This wing is designed more, and it's a Team Losi racing wing, of course. It's designed more or less to help you kind of tune your buggy more for the track. You have several adjustments and stuff for that. And I talked about that kind of in the unboxing and then the live video as well. Whereas this particular wing, it's just more or less kind of designed for speed. Now, jumping is probably going to be pretty decent with it, but I think if you're actually going to go racing, you're going to want a wing that's going to be a little bit more tunable. Some people may be able to get away with this wing, but I think that you're still going to want something that's going to be a little bit more tunable to particular track conditions and stuff as well. Shock towers are going to be different as well. Huge difference in those two. On here, you're going to actually have 5 different positions to adjust your shocks, where on the V5, you only have 3. And then there's tunability and stuff on the front of them as well with that. So that's going to be a big difference. And then also the same thing can be said for the rear shocks. You have 3 positions in the rear shocks on both of them. I think it's actually 4 for the TLR TT, but it just gives you more options to tune your buggy and stuff for what you kind of want to do for it as well. As far as everything else goes, it's pretty much laid out somewhat the same. I'm going to take these bodies off, and both of these are real dirty because I've been running them, but they both basically have the same type of systems in them. They both have both 2050 kV motors and stuff in them. And the Typhon V5 does come with, you guys see that top plate there, that does say EXP compatible. So they both kind of come with that as well. Turning that over there, you guys can kind of see that. So it does have that EXP compatible top plate in here for it. And the steering and stuff is good for them both. For the particular Losi, I did change out the servo arm that came with it. I put a 25 tooth servo arm spleen up in here instead of this one that's got a 23. I don't really have too many 23 tooth servos to put up in there, but that's some of the differences there. And of course, it's going to be the chassis layout and stuff that's going to be different. I know some of you guys kind of wanted to look at the chassis braces, and you guys see that the chassis braces are the same there with that. This does come with mud guards, where this one does not. But I did want to show this to you guys so you guys can see it. Some of you guys may pause it for a second and see some of that there. And show that. So I'm not going to go too in depth with this. I'm going to try to get both of these out one day and run them both. I'm going to put the same gearing in both, probably about a 16 tooth in both. And since they both basically have the same system, they both are running Firma ESCs. This just has the BLX 2050 motor, and it has the Firma 2050 motor. Shouldn't be too much difference with that because they're both, like I said, 2050 kV motors, and they both have the same gearing. Now, what I'm going to do for this a little bit later on, though, I am going to do some changes for this. I'm going to add the 46 tooth spur gear from the Infraction in here just to run, because I want a couple more different gear options and gear ratio options when I actually take this out to run it. and I'll eventually end up changing this system out too. I'm going to run this like this is a couple times. I'll put it on the track and run it, and then I'll bring some different spur gears and pinion gears just to try to get the right gear ratio with some of the guys are possibly running on the track. Because I hate to kind of go out there and be experimenting for hours and hours when someone can just say, hey, this is the kind of gear ratio we run for this. So that'll be something I'll do for this, and I'll keep you guys up to date with that. But as far as the way these sit, you guys kind of see how they sit here. This seems to have a little bit more toe in than the low seat. That could be from just the shocks and how it's sitting and stuff with that. But this can be adjusted and attuned for that as well. And then, of course, some of the aluminum is going to be color a little bit different than what is on the Typhon. Like I said, this is going to be red. This is black. Of course, this is the 775 aluminum on here, and I don't think this is 775. I don't think it is at all, but it is a thick aluminum. I have never had a problem of bending any shock towers on any of my Typhons that I can recall. I've had just about everyone. I don't think I had the version 1, but I did have the versions 2, 3, and I don't think I got the 4, but I did, of course, what you guys see right here is the version 5. Weight wise, this is a little bit lighter, but I can actually feel it when I run and drive, the weight difference. For you guys that are experienced in driving RC cars, you probably are familiar with that. You can kind of feel the difference when you're driving a car that's a little bit heavier than a car that's a little bit lighter. And it's not by much, but I can kind of tell when I jump, just kind of the way it kind of glides through the air and stuff compared to when I jump this and the way this glides through the air. And that, of course, has to do with the wing and stuff like that. But I do feel a difference, and I'm actually running it weight-wise. Speed-wise, they're probably going to be the same because they have the same transmissions in both of them. There's nothing that was changed about that. But I will be doing, like I said, some minor adjustments to this to make this more of a race-ready buggy, and then make this more of a basher-type buggy. And like I said, I'll get them both on the track and run them both at the same time so you guys can see it in this stock configuration before I go in and start making some changes. So you guys, if you want to know a little bit more, maybe I'll go live at some point and show you guys this, but I just wanted to at least show this to you guys so you can see some of the differences there. Of course, the bodies, they do fit. I mean, you could change bodies. I could put this body on here, etc. So there's no difference with that. And I'm glad they didn't make changes like that with this, because that would kind of be interesting if they change the way the body mounts are on the new TLR TT compared to the V5 Typhon. So anyway, guys, put your comments down below. Like I said, there's a comparisons video coming up real soon talking about a little bit more with this. Comparisons with the wings and stuff. You guys see that the low C wing mount does seem to be extended out a little bit further than the one on the V5 Typhon. So there's little minor differences that are been made on the TLR TT. I think that's going to help this with handling a little bit better on the track, and probably handling better with speed runs and stuff as well. We'll try that at some point in time. I'll probably put like a Max 6 in here, put the spool in here, 27 tooth or 29 tooth spool or something like that. I don't know, I'll look at a couple of things and then get this out to see how this is going to handle higher speeds. I think I got this up to 94 once, and then I got up to like, I think it was 107 off of camera. And I still didn't have to do that many adjustments to it, but it was kind of light with it. But we'll get that going in the next, I don't know, a couple of weeks or so. This does sit a little bit wider. You guys, if you can see that, does seem to sit a little bit wider than the version 5, which is going to help with the stability and stuff as far as the chassis and stuff goes for it. And I'll set this. I'm not going to do that. We'll do that another time. So anyway, guys, I want to show this to you. Put your comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos. Thanks for watching.